Coming up on this week's Gadget Show Web TV, John's reviewing the long-awaited Nokia N8. Otis looks at Tune's attack for the iPhone, and I bring you this week's Best Tech News. Hello and welcome to this week's Web TV. Coming up later, Otis has an app that lets you combine your music and the games together. But first, John's been looking at the Nokia N8 with a 12-megapixel camera and impressive specs. It's the phone that Nokia is hoping will get them back to the forefront of the phone market. But can it really live up to their expectations? Well, as ever, it's over to John to find out.
I've been very keenly awaiting Nokia's new N8. It's the phone I'm hoping is going to be able to replace my now nearly 3-year-old Nokia N82. And on paper it looks very impressive. And in reality the camera is certainly very impressive. It's got a 12-megapixel sensor that's larger than the one you get on most mobile phones, and it delivers really very good picture quality with good strong colours even in dark conditions. It's also got a proper xenon flash, unlike the one you get on an iPhone 4, so you don't get any of that lurid sort of horror movie look to your night shots. You do get quite a virulent dose of red eye because the flash is very close to the lens, but the in-camera editing software manages to deal with that very effectively. And there's also a pretty good video camera as well. It's not quite so standout good as the stills, but it does come with very good stereo sound. However, it is only a phone camera. I don't think it's a replacement for a decent compact camera. After all, there's no optical zoom. You don't get a readout on the screen of the shutter speed you're using, so you don't know whether you're going to get camera shake. It doesn't remember when you switch the camera off and go back again whether you had the flash on or off, which I find a bit irritating. And also the movie editor isn't a patch on the cut-down iMovie app you can get on your iPhone. However, enough of the complaints. It is undoubtedly the best camera I've yet tried in a phone. And the camera's not the only good thing about the N8. I think the styling looks refreshingly different for a smartphone, and it's very well made. I dropped it accidentally on a hard surface the other day, and not only does it work, there isn't even a scratch on it. You also get HDMI out with high quality audio, and the battery life is excellent for a smartphone. You know, you can get 2 days out of it almost without a problem. And importantly for me, it's got a very good FM radio. But there's a big but with the N8, and that's the user experience. Nokia have improved the Symbian operating system in all sorts of little ways. For example, the phone seems to prioritise Wi-Fi over 3G across a variety of applications more easily. But they haven't improved Symbian by much. If you're going from a N97 to the N8, you'll notice the improvements. You'll probably be quite pleased. But if you're coming from one of the better Android phones or an iPhone, you're going to feel as though you've stepped back in time for all sorts of reasons. One of which, for example, is the keyboard. In portrait mode, you just get this alphanumeric thing. You can switch round to landscape mode and then a QWERTY keyboard does appear, but in both cases you're completely divorced from the application which you are typing in. And the whole thing feels rather laggy and unresponsive. I don't know whether it's the relatively slow 680 megahertz processor, whether it's the software, or whether it's just the screen that isn't very good. I'm not quite sure, but the whole thing makes the phone very unfun to use. Web browsing is okay, but not as convenient as the best. And of course, you'll be short of apps compared to Android and iOS, and the ones you do have probably won't be as easy to use. Perhaps that's why Nokia had supplied a rather eccentric collection of apps with our N8. All of which makes it very hard to recommend the N8, unless that is you're very, very keen on one of its particularly good features, say the camera or the battery life. And I think this leaves Nokia with a big problem, in the sense that it still doesn't have a competitive top-flight smartphone. It also leaves me with a big problem, because I don't think the N8 is necessarily good enough to be my next phone.
Right, news time now, and first up, Virgin Media has confirmed this week that it's to roll out 100 megabits per second broadband, doubling the speed of its current offering, and making the service accessible to over 12.7 million homes. Virgin has confirmed it will go on sale in December and said it's a significant milestone to the UK's broadband, stating it will create new possibilities and bring customers into the next decade. As well as providing 100 megabits per second download speeds, the service will also offer 10 megabits per second upload speeds, giving Virgin Media customers the ability to share content such as high-definition video really easily. The package will come with a new custom-built energy-efficient combined modem and a wireless N router, with the potential to deliver speeds of up to 400 megabits per second as new services are rolled out in the future. And a typical household will be able to get the new ultra-fast service from £35 a month when bought as part of a bundle, or £45 a month as a sole product. Next up, Barnes & Noble have announced the Nook Color in the US this week. It's a full-colour 7-inch Android tablet PC that offers the option of reading books, magazines and newspapers, as well as viewing apps and videos. It has a 7-inch 1024 by 600 full-colour LCD touchscreen, which is covered in a glare-free laminated coating. It's accelerometer-enabled and very light, weighing just under £1 and measuring at less than ½ an inch at its thickest point. It also features an 8GB internal memory with a microSD slot for additional storage. It's Wi-Fi enabled and complete with an 8-hour battery life. It's due to go on sale in the US on November 19th, priced at around $250, but currently there are no plans to bring it here in the UK. But here's hoping that it does make it over here, because on paper it seems like a real contender to Amazon's Kindle. The lovely Otis Neely is back again, and today he's looking at another app. This time it's a game, but a game with a difference. One that allows you to combine your very own music with the 3 supplied games. Nice.
There are lots of rhythm-based games in the App Store. It's always nice when a company comes along that tries to do something new with a genre that's been around for a while. This is what Nemoid Studios have attempted to do with games that you'll be familiar with. They've got a new setup called Tunes Attack. Now, there's a choice of 3 games that you can play using the multi-touch interface that you've got on your screen there. So, Scooter, Concert and Space. With Scooter, you're on a moped and you're trying to whiz through town, delivering pizzas to as many people as possible whilst avoiding obstacles. The obstacles come in the form of cars, lampposts, people lying in the road, etc. Concert is just like Tap Tap Revenge or Guitar Hero, if you will. You just have to tap in rhythm to the songs that are playing. And Space is another incarnation of Space Invaders. Now, the unique selling point of Tunes Attack is the game allows you to upload your own library of music, so you can choose your own backing to whatever game you're playing. And on Concert, for instance, you actually have to tap in rhythm to whatever tune it is that you've decided to play using. It works very well on Concert because all you have to do is tap the screen. But where you have to manipulate and move your character around a bit more, like in Scooter or Space, the graphics are a bit slow, they're a little bit clunky. So thumbs up to Nemoid Studios for trying to do something with a genre that's been around for a little while. It's very nice to be able to play a game along to your own rhythm. There are still a few little creases that they need to iron out and some tweaks that they can make. Great fun though.
Well, that's all for today, but I'll be back next week with more news and reviews. This week on the main show, Jason and Otis have the challenge of learning a brand new skill, but can only use high-tech simulators to train them. And John explores the world of mobile phone tariffs. It's definitely one not to miss. But from me here at Web TV, it's bye for now.